Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the Leadership Show this afternoon. As I speak with you, this is a special edition because it's coming on a Friday afternoon instead of the usual Wednesday that we have the Leadership Show. Like I said, is not is beyond is because of circumstances beyond our control. Our guest had some issues with the time zone, so we had to reschedule for Friday today, and that makes it a special one. Even as is a prelude to the forthcoming 2021 Ugwumba International Women's Conference. In celebration of the International Women's Day. So this afternoon, you're welcome to the show. I am Remy Chukwunye, the Executive Director of the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. And I am the host of the Leadership Talk Show. This afternoon, we have a special guest, that has accepted, despite, it's very early in her country. This is 6 a.m., but because of the sacrifice that she makes for humanity, she decided to wake up early to join us on the show this afternoon. I'm talking about Jacqueline, the co-founder of Tachyon Aerospace in the USA. She grew up in a family of inventors and the culture of science on the central coast of California, USA. As an early adapter of online resources, she believes that smartphones are the key tables, are the kitchen tables for startups and also passports to the world. She had a successful 25-year career in media marketing. She started with the international pop star Michael Jackson and LA Gear tennis shoes in the early 90s. She also had an innovative investigative journalism career with Fox News Media, and built a template developed to enhance human safety. Her life mission is to turn national security into natural security. She is a humanitarian technology expert and a voice for sustainable clean energy. And for over 25 years, she has spearheaded the awakening for eco-sustainable efforts on a galactic scale. She was the executive producer of the 777 Live Earth Concert for Climate Change at the Vatican and spearheaded the United Nations Global Peace Initiative in 2002. She is an award-winning documentary filmmaker, and her career in investigative journalism created a deep curiosity into the unseen spectrum. Influenced by Buckminster Fuller, a 20th century inventor and visionary, Jacqueline's mantra is do more with less, making the transition from a producer to the future of space technology ultimately led her to co-found Tachyon Aerospace with a mission to revolutionize the speed of innovation and cost of space travel. Jacqueline is responsible for strategic introductions and community building at Mars City Design, a project that is creating an eco-sustainable blueprint for humans to thrive on Mars, which can lead to solutions that improve all lives on Earth. Most recently, Jacqueline developed Storybed, a tech brand which she sold to Producers Market backed by the IBM Food Trust. Ladies and gentlemen, with this conversation with Jacqueline this afternoon, we are set to spark up new thinking among African women as the Ugwumba Leadership Center launches its maiden edition of the International Women's Conference on Monday, March 8, 2021, which shall be celebrated annually to mark the International Women's Day events around the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome officially Jacqueline Beaudette-Evanoff, the CEO of the co-founder of Tachyon Aerospace USA. You're welcome to the show this afternoon. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to also welcome you. I want you to relax and get ready with your questions and comments as we engage Jacqueline on this important theme, which is think big, but please start small. Think big, but please start small. We are broadcasting from our studio here in Abuja, the FCT, and it's a pleasure to have you. Welcome, Jacqueline, on the show.
Thank you so much, Remy. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here from California. Nice to be here. 6 a.m. here. It's a little dark outside still. My eyes are watering because I just woke up.
Yeah. So I can see, like I said, it's a sacrifice that you make, for humanity, and we are so privileged to have you on the show, despite that it's very early in your country, but because of your love for us and for humanity, you are here to join us on the show. It's a pleasure and it's a privilege to have you here.
Oh, thank you very much. It's my privilege as well. Very, very happy to be here. Thank you.
Okay, very good. I just read out your profile and very, very inspiring and also motivational there. And we can see that you have achieved a lot, considering your age, you have achieved a lot within a very short time. You have achieved so much, so within this short time. So can you tell us a little about your background? We want to know how it affected, the successes that you have recorded.
Certainly. Well, believe it or not, I've been working for over 40 years. So I started, as you can see, starting small. My studio has its limitations. But I started working when I was 10 years old. I got a job in a store helping to make orange juice, of all things. And, really my first jobs started in my late teens and 20s. And through a course of fortuitous events, began making films and really commercials, and starting very small. We used to trade food credits for, making a commercial for a restaurant. And that actually led me to Michael Jackson. So we basically had a lookalike in this commercial for a restaurant. And then, very surprisingly, 3 months later, that individual got a hold of us and said that Michael Jackson was looking for a double and he needed some management. And so that's how it all began. And we toured the world for almost 3 years with LA Gear tennis shoes. And he represented Michael as his lookalike. And Michael was paid a lot of money, and we helped to support that tour.
Very good, very good, very good. So, okay, good. I was amazed when I heard that you started, your media career working with Michael Jackson, the big, international pop star that we heard about. It's really interesting and amazing, to hear that. So that is your first leap into the media industry. Is that correct?
It was. I thought all jobs were like that. It was a grace, really, to have that first experience of traveling, and the support that a superstar like that has, even in a small side business of selling tennis shoes. They had a 30-person tour and $1 million or more year budget. So it certainly got me prepared to work on that scale. But it was a long time in between before I got another job that was to that scale. So again, after that tour ended, back to the drawing board, starting small and working my way back into the production business.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So, okay, there's something we saw, or I saw when I read your profile, talking about smartphones. Yes, that is common everywhere today. You said smartphones are like kitchen tables for startups and then as passports to the world. So can you tell us, what does that mean, to you? Or why did you say that?
Well, I think in relation to the women of the Academy, I took a very long time off to have a child and raise a child and do jobs in between and consultations. But when the smartphone really became prevalent, we could conduct business through WhatsApp, Zoom, Slack, and have a decentralized business that's functional and do consulting worldwide through the smartphone. But also it helped me to find my heart in science and business. And I was able to study by myself anything that I wanted. And YouTube is amazing for that. They have, amazing amount of courses, whether it's how to sprout a seed in a certain way or how to understand quantum computers in emerging markets. YouTube is usually the first to have cohesive media available. So, really for the women of the Academy, for me, my whole journey was to follow my heart. And now, I do completely different things than 30 years ago when we started that tour. But but they all kind of fit together, and the skills that you gather along the way will help you to your next destination as long as you're following your heart.
Very good. So you mean that for young people and women in Africa, you mean that there's a lot they can do with their smartphones. Is it correct?
Very much so. Cottage industry is a great way to start. If you don't have appropriate amount of startup capital, cottage industry, business, making something from home and selling it, making jewelry, making a handicraft, making something of essential oils or candles or lotions. Those things can all be marketed worldwide now. They can be marketed on Etsy.com. They can be marketed in multiple platforms. Etsy is one of my favorites because I think they do a great job. Okay. But that's, now the smartphone can run a business. And we regularly run our businesses from smartphones. I didn't bring my headset today, but I have a NFL level Parrot headset, and I can be vacuuming my house and talking at the same time, and people don't hear the vacuum if you have the right, noise cancellation. So it's very simple to start small. And I also wanted to tell the ladies about the website whois.com. I'll send you that link, Mr. Remy. But
yes, I will show that. I will show that as we progress. Just go ahead. I will show that as we progress.
Thank you. They're able to. Let's say you have an inspiration in your heart. First, I think ultimately to get in touch with what is so inspiring to you, what your passion, what the woman's passion is, because if you focus on that, everything else will line up perfectly. It may take more time than a fast start and, going in, to a traditional business. But if a woman wants to be an entrepreneur and focuses on a passion, then that passion will lead to all the other avenues, just trusting that, starting small will help to make big ideas happen.
Okay, wonderful. I'm so happy about that. That is a takeaway for all our listeners this afternoon, because we have so many young people here that have Android phones, but they are not utilizing, the opportunities that they have in their hands, and they keep waiting for government jobs, keep running about, looking for vacancies and openings, where they can get employed and begin to, work for the government. So now you are telling us that with your smartphone, you can do a lot. You can start businesses and start consulting businesses and web design and all of that, even social media marketing for other businesses, and begin to earn money. So that's a takeaway for our listeners, from across the world who are joining us this afternoon. By the way, I have some people that are here, so let's go and look at what they have to say about this discussion this afternoon. Okay, good. I see Cynthia Nana. She's saying, okay, let me present it for you to see. Okay, Nana is saying, feels good to be here. Thank you, Ma, for sparing your time to impart into us. Proud to be an Ugwumbian. Okay, good. So, okay, this one is from Grace Uzoka. She's saying, welcome, Ma, welcome, Ma, welcome, Ma. Okay, good. And then we have Joy Omar. She said, wow, so many achievements. Yes, so many achievements. Achievements.
I'd like to touch on that, Mr. Remy, because many of these things we can achieve if we just start to work for stock or work as a collective without pay first. Many of the things that I work on, we work for stock or participation. And, again, following the heart, though, you have a lot of energy to lend your spare time to building a permanent business.
Okay, good. So, let me continue with what they have to say. Osweke Modesta is saying, welcome, Ma. They're happy to see you, and that's interesting. Grace Uzoka is saying, okay, madam, good. Okay. Yes, this one is think big and start small. Wonderful, good. Then this is from Osudi Posmos. God bless His Excellency Ugwumba Uchengus for creating this amazing opportunity for African women. God bless Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. Okay, good. Okay, let me take you back to when we were discussing about yes, your practice in the media industry. I know you mentioned something like that, but I wanted to take you back to that so that you can tell us more about how you landed those big jobs. How you landed those big jobs working for Almighty Michael Jackson.
Well, that was a grace, but after that, it was not very easy. I ended up working in private investigation with my boyfriend, who was a private investigator. We ended up making equipment for investigations, and the people that started to buy that equipment were from the news agency. So of course I wanted to get back into production, and I asked everybody, can I work for you? Can I be a production assistant? That's a very low level job. Can I be an intern, which is almost unpaid work? They all said, no, you may not. So I said, over time, I got to see through our interaction in business how they were making their stories. And so I ended up finding what they wanted, a story that they would buy. And ultimately, with my partner at the time, we packaged that story and sold it to them when they could have had it from me as an intern or a production assistant. I then became a producer because I sold the story directly to them. So it was an entrepreneurial move to not take no for an answer, but figure out something that would work for them, that they would want, that then I could present to them as a business, and they could receive it as a business.
Okay, so you mean you refused to take no for an answer, and instead you built something that you sold to them, and because of that, they got you involved, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And 3 years, I did it for 3 years, and was nominated for an Emmy ultimately.
Oh, great. That's a strategic way of finding yourself into an organization that you have eyes for. Just like here, we preach and encourage young people to get into volunteer jobs as interns or volunteers, unpaid jobs, basically, because by the time you begin to showcase your skills, it is possible that the organization may want to keep you, permanently. And that is another strategic way of getting into the system. We appreciate you for that takeaway you just announced now. It has taught me something. They said no to you. They don't have space for you, but you went and did something that they needed. You sold it to them, and because of that, they got you involved, and you started working for them.
Yeah. They said, no, absolutely not. You cannot work for us. We're not interested in you whatsoever. And I just said, okay. And then I very quietly watched what they were buying and what the market required and needed. And then we created it and sold it as a business back to them.
And they paid for it.
And they paid a lot more than they would if I was a production assistant. So, yeah, and that's kind of been the case in all the businesses where I have a passion. With that passion, connect with the subject, and then work very, very hard without pay for sometimes very long time. But then it's all starting to now come together as even helping each other. The businesses that I'm working in all have a similar theme of sustainable, eco, organic, non-GMO. And they all somehow support each other, let's say.
Very good. I'm so happy for that. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still discussing think big, but start small. We want you to think big. No matter how big your idea is, we are asking you to please start small. And in this conversation this afternoon, you're going to learn strategies of how you can start small, even though you have big ideas. Just like Jacqueline just told us a story. She wanted to work for a big company. They said no to her, but she went back and did something, a story that they needed. She went and sold it to them. They paid money for that story. And then before you knew it, she got employed in that system, in that organization, as a production assistant. From there, she grew up, and that is the story today. Thank you so much. We are discussing think big, but start small. So I want you to get ready as the discussion progresses, because you're going to learn a lot from her. She's a big fish in America, and we are happy and privileged to have her this morning. This afternoon is her morning there, and here is afternoon, hot afternoon in Nigeria. Very good. Okay, so Jacqueline, let me take you to. There's another dimension I want to take our discussion to. You know, we are discussing think big and start small. Now, like I said, here in the country, here in the continent, Africa, we have a lot of people, young people and women, that have big and wonderful ideas. Now, but they don't have resources to get started. You know, and again, this idea of asking them to start small, they don't want to start small. They are waiting until government gives them money, until they raise money from maybe from the banks and all of that to get started. So what advice do you have for such women that are waiting until they make a lot of money before they can launch out their ideas?
You know, Remy, I think scalability is so important. If you want to make a product, sell it to 5 of your friends and make a profit to 5 friends. And then you can take that and expand upon it. So, you know, I know some people are starting up with absolute zero. And there are ways now to even make money online using your smartphone. And there are various even cryptocurrencies you can mine and things like that. But I think, you know, to talk to the women of Africa and say, to have cottage industry that can be consumables. Consumables are an excellent industry. So if it's baking a cookie or making a food item that you sell, if you write down and track your progress and show that it's a profitable business, then a bank will invest in you. So to be able to start very small with even what's in your garden or raw materials that are around you. And we call it a resource-based economy. I study a very interesting project called the Venus Project, which was, believe it or not, 103-year-old architect. He just left the planet recently, but he was the inspiration for the TV show Star Trek. And he talked very seriously about using what you have around you. So looking around, seeing what kind of fibers are there, seeing what kind of handicrafts can be made from those fibers. You know, my daughter is she makes little handicrafts. She's great. And she walked in the other day and she brought a doll that she had made out of corn husks and some dried flowers. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. And I said, wow, you should make more of these. These are great little toys. So, you know, I think where the planet is looking now is to have things that come from nature more and that are, you know, not plastic. It's a big issue that we have on our planet. And, you know, for us to be able to grow things that we can then make, you know, businesses out of, that the food, you know, in essence is free. So once you have the soil and the pot and the seeds, then your food just grows. So to focus on food, if you need a very small startup. I was a single mother and also very much struggling in America. And we used to make little toys and Play-Doh from flour and water and, you know, things like that to give as gifts and to give to our friends. So, you know, there's always something that you can find that people need. And certainly they like to have food 3 times a day. So food's a great place to start. Canned food, preserved food, dried food. But now there's herbs that are in high demand around the world. And Africa is an amazing place to grow spices and herbs. And I'd love to tell the women about storybird.io, because Storybird is a free resource for a producer of consumable items. And you can go tell the story of your product and finding that special element about how you care for the food or how your farm looks. People want to see that, especially here in the West. They're looking for a deeper connection to their food. And Storybird is almost Facebook for food or for produced items. It shows people how that item is made and why it's special and why the person that's making it is special. You can tell your story there. That website, storybird.io.
Okay, good. You have taken me straight away to that Storybird app that you developed. So I wanted to ask you how women and young people here in Africa, who are into production of crops, food crops, and other things can benefit from the Storybird app, which you run with farmers producers market. Good. So let us know how can our people here participate in that project and benefit from it.
Well, there are three very important websites for them to look into. They're all part of the same corporation. The first is called producersmarket.com. And the second is called producerstrust.com. And the third is storybird.io. And if they can just take the time to go through those websites and read very carefully what's on those websites, it'll show how, thank you for the links, I see them there. It'll show them how they can take their produced product and or get a consortium of many people who are producing that product and tell the story of the food and the special background and why the soil is rich and why the land is so good. And, maybe some people prey on their food. Whatever the special part of making that food is, that will be very well received by people who are importing food as well. But I think there's plenty of market in Nigeria to feed each other as well, rather than rely so much on imports.
Oh, okay. You mean that through the app, they can also target markets in Nigeria or within the African continent?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
And connect in with Nigeria as well.
Okay, very good. Okay, because I was wondering, the cost of maybe export and all of that, or maybe the foreigners who are ordering for those food items, how I was thinking about the cost. So you mean that they can target the African market, Nigerian market, which is very good one at that.
And they could, let's say somebody's making like a sauce, like a hot sauce, or something that's their specialty of their family. That's the real magic of telling a story of a food item. This is my great grandma's recipe that she's made for 100 years. It's a 100-year-old recipe, and our family has enjoyed it for this long, and now we want to share it with you. And so telling that story and also learning how to use the smartphone so that it's your camera and you're actually taking your own videos. Now the cameras are so good that you have a little movie studio inside that phone. So to be able to interact with your customers that way and to give a good narrative about the products they're making, I think could be very beneficial.
Okay, good. So ladies and gentlemen, scrolling down on the screen, links to where you can, like producersmarket.com, there's storybird.io. Storybird.io, we have producersmarket.com. You can quickly visit those websites and see how you can be part of what she's talking about. Thank you so much. Let's go and see what oh, good. We have so many people listening and watching. I have Bailey Kisu. Okay, let me see what she has to say. Okay. Oh, before that. Oh, wonderful. Amazing. My president is here. My president is here. President Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. He said, very impressive and educated. This will go a long way in helping the young women in Africa. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma. That is coming from my president, my boss, and that is interesting. He's watching us from where he is this afternoon. That's very interesting. Very interesting.
It's my honor. It's my honor to be here.
Good. So another person is Dekwate, Isa Dekwate, Ugwumba Leadership Center to the world. Wow, wonderful. Okay, this is from Biliki Sugarba. Biliki is saying, hello, everyone. Okay, good. Okay, good. This one is saying, refuse to take no for an answer.
That's right. And be polite about it. Just to think very carefully, how can I get a
yes. You know what that means is that the message just passed, on has sank into her. So she has learned to refuse to take no for an answer because because no may mean not yet time for you.
Right.
So there'll be a time when they have to say yes. So when you continue persistently, they will say yes. Is it correct?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I have another person. Oh, wonderful. Doris Mbadiwe. Doris Mbadiwe is the executive director of AfriGrants Foundation. She said informed. That means she has learned a lot now, just within the short time that we started. Then I have Streetwise Business Initiative. Very informative. Oh, wonderful. And this is from Emmanuel Chisom Eze. Amazing. Okay, good. We have Isa Dekwate, Uche Rose. God bless you, sir. Thank you for coming up with Ugwumba Leadership Center. Oh, youth, KB youths are proud of you. Wonderful. This one is from Emeka Jesse Ihenacho. He said, this is mind-blowing. Thank you so much. Keep the comments coming. And then if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask your questions because she's fully loaded for you this morning. That's our morning and it's our afternoon. You can imagine the sacrifice that she had to make to be here this early morning in California. Good. So, Jacqueline, let's continue with, I'm happy that you have spoken to us, what we can do with Storybird app and the Producers Market app. And that is interesting. Okay, now, when I read your profile, we saw that your life mission is to turn national security into natural security. That is a lot for us in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, because we have so much insecurity in Nigeria. So, and your mission is to turn national security into natural security. So how can you help us achieve that?
Again, thinking big, but starting small. So I think everyone can grow food in their backyard. Everyone can work collectively to have a place that produces herbs and spices and food products. I always say food is actually free. One tomato is 50,000 tomatoes. So, understanding that, harvesting your own seeds, America is very much beginning to value the potency of non-hybridized food. They're understanding that original seeds, heirloom seeds, they call it, are valuable, very valuable. So that's a business that someone could start right away, very small, which is harvesting the seeds out of the food that they're currently using, knowing where that food came from, knowing if the food has got pesticides or not, or has been hybridized, but really to promote that this is an original seed that has been harvested over time from the crops itself rather than becoming hybridized. I did some work in Egypt a decade ago now, and I noticed when I ate the food of Egypt, North Africa, it was so potent and strong and health. It gave me so much health and vitality that there was a real difference. I think there's a blog on Producers Market that I wrote about that in their blog. But I mean, I had so much energy. I was running places. not really better. And I was running everywhere because this food was so amazing. So, you know, Africa is the richest land, the richest soil, the most minerals. And there's so many ways that Africa can turn to agriculture to make natural security, which means that what are we all seeking every day? We're seeking great meals. When you're growing your own food, your meals become very luxury. It's luxury food that may cost $30 here in the US to eat a plate of. So, you know, I think if we just rethink what success is and what luxury is and what, you know, makes us happy, you know, I think everyone's working for that great plate of delicious food that, you know, they can share with their family and create moments with their family around that food.
Good. You know, so what you mean is that, you know, by the time people begin to grow food not from natural food, you know, within their environment, you know, it's going to improve on the national security and becomes natural security, just like you called it.
Yeah. I'd love to work with governments as well. I mean, that's my think small is grow food in the backyard, and think big is to have the governments and the militaries help to make organic growing centers. So there's two sides to that, you know, starting small, just I grow food in my backyard right now. I have fresh mint tea and, you know, I make a few things with peppers and whatnot, and I use them all the time. But to think further than that, you know, if we can encourage government to help build infrastructure, but very local, very, very local. So you're, you know, it's all very nearby to the communities, and the community can participate. When COVID first started, I got these barrels, these half barrels, about 8 of them, and I put them in my community. And people started to come around and bring their own plants and grow their own things as well. And a blank slate of a backyard, kind of not a very great place to grow, started to have flowers and look beautiful. And the elderly people especially like to come to the garden and work in the garden. And, you know, we had a lady here who grew up the best pumpkins. She knew all the secrets of growing pumpkins, and she taught my daughter how to grow pumpkins. So, you know, these natural events really help to bring people together and to create community. And, you know, it's fun. It's amazing to see something grow and to watch it from a flower turn into a fruit. I hope that answered your question.
Wonderful. Yeah, it makes yes. I can imagine how it feels, you know, when you watch, you know, your seeds grow, you know, grow up and begin to mature and produce fruits. You know, that's what it gives, you know, is unimaginable. I'm happy for that. I'm happy you said that.
You become attached to vegetables. I mean, I don't even like to pick my vegetables sometimes because they're so beautiful. Like, really to value that, you know, to really see the value. And also you learn from the garden. The garden really does teach aerospace, believe it or not. We have a category that I highly suggest the women look at on YouTube. It's barely taught in colleges yet, but it's called biomimicry. And what that means is we're copying the way that plants work and the natural world works in order to make things very efficient in aerospace and outer space. And I'm looking forward to the Nigerian Space Agency. That's going to come. I know it.
Okay, good. I think we are progressing, and ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the show this afternoon. This is a special edition of the Leadership Talk Show coming to you from the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, and this is a prelude to our first International Women's Conference that is going to happen from Monday until Wednesday. So it's a privilege to have our special guest here, Jacqueline, all the way from California, talking to us on how to think big, but for you to start small. You know, think big, no problem, but you have to start small, because everything God created started small before they grew up and became large and big. So that's the whole essence of why we are here this afternoon. So let me take you back. There's something you said that I want to take you back. That you said resource-based economy. Resource-based economy. When you look around your environment, you can see gaps that need to be filled. You can see opportunities that you need to tap into. So I wanted to talk to us about it again for maybe a few of us or a few of our listeners that just came on board. So because that's important, for people to look around them, their environment, and see gaps that needs to be filled, and opportunities that they need to grab and turn into business ventures. So say something about it again so that we can refresh our memories.
I'm very interested in basically seeing the next level of people's engagement coming in through their businesses. So basically, what Mr. Remy, will you repeat the question one more time, because I lost my train of thought? I'm so sorry.
Okay, no, I said, when you were discussing about how people can actually get started, at a small scale. Now you talked about resource-based economy. Resource-based economy. For me, I understand it to mean trying to look around you and see what is available and how you can turn what is available into an income generating project or business. Is that not correct?
Yes. So looking around what's in your community, I actually have a video series that I'm absolutely in love with right now, from a 400-year-old farm in Sichuan, China. And basically the woman has a grocery store in her backyard. And the way that the farm is set up, she actually manages it on her own, but they're able to pick and harvest everything that they need for their family straight from the farm. There's not one piece of plastic, and it's beautiful. Like, she lives in a fairy tale. She makes her own cosmetics. She makes everything on her own. So I'm happy to share that link. It's been inspiring me very much. And also I show it to my daughter so she can get ideas for her crafts. But resource-based economy, what's available to you? What does the ground tolerate? How does the ground that's around you want to grow things? What can you make with that? Can you grow flowers? Can you grow herbs? If you don't have a lot of water, there are many low water spices that can be grown. And beyond growing, what's available to you? Do you have access to video equipment? Do you have access to the internet through the smartphone? Looking back, I've always started with a brand, starting with some sort of brand and getting that brand reserved on the web. So whois.com, sometimes you can buy a brand for $1 or $9. So really thinking about that brand and how it's going to be even spoken of on the phone. If it's hard to understand, it's probably not a good brand. So something that's simple, that people can remember, that people can repeat to each other. Most beautifully, if it tells the story of the brand in the brand's name, that's ideal. So, your imagination, the imagination of the women entrepreneurs is a resource that is unbounded. So being able to really think about first tapping into, what is my gift? Who am I? What do I have to offer to the world? What do I enjoy that I could do for free? What makes me go all day long and not even look at the clock? That's the gift. That's where people can really start to expand what's already in them to give to the world.
So you are talking about passion. That's what we call it. What are you passionate about? What are you passionate about?
Yeah.
What you can do, whether you are paid or not, you are satisfied. That's good. Thank you for bringing that perspective to this discussion. Passion. For me, passion drives successful businesses. Without passion, you cannot succeed in any business or in any venture. That is, for me, what passion is all about. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, good. There's something very remarkable that you do that I want our listeners to know about. You know, you are involved in the Mars City design. Mars City, you are planning to take us to the next planet, Mars. And you are involved in that amazing project. So I would like you to tell us more about it. I want to hear what you are doing with the Mars City design project, which is a project that is creating an eco-sustainable blueprint for human beings to thrive in Mars and do agriculture and other things. So can you tell us more about it and what success stories that you and your team have recorded so far?
Yes, well, I was like, I came there because of vegetables. Ultimately, one of the teammates who was already established at Mars City Design is called Mackenzie McAleer, and he and I had been connected through an organization called the Bioneers. And really, if you think about traveling to Mars, it's a very serious camping trip. So you've got to figure out how you're going to survive and how you're going to grow, what you're going to grow. And in this particular case, the beautiful founder, Vera Molyani, has really amazing story to tell too, and I hope that she'll have time eventually to come to this channel to tell you her story, because she came from Indonesia with a dream and followed that dream and really started small and has ended up in a very amazing place. But what Mars City Design is famous for is creating eco-sustainable materials. We've all seen trash and it's not pretty. And in order to have a more sustainable Earth, for us to develop things from biomass, we had talked in our earlier talk, Mr. Remy, about pineapple leather. They're actually making leather out of pineapple skins. So that's a whole business in itself, to find those pineapple skins and transport them, or make a factory to make the leather out of pineapple. Mars City Design is very good with eco-sustainable materials and algae plastics. So you can now make plastic out of hemp, out of mushroom. They have a mushroom plastic now. I run a website on Facebook, a Facebook page called The Resolutionary. And someone sees my name that can find The Resolutionary on my Facebook page. But The Resolutionary has been a place where for years I've saved amazing things that I've read about. You know, that's one thing I'd like to say to the women. Every day, read for 2 hours a day in the morning. Get up before your children get up. That's what I do. I get up at 4:44 in the morning, and I read from 4:44 to 6:44 till it's time to make breakfast for everybody. And that 2 hours of reading every day really adds up after 20 years. And it will save the things that inspire you. That's what I did on this webpage called The Resolutionary. And now I said resolution versus revolution, because we're looking now to resolve a lot of issues on the planet, because we can as a collective. And that website or the Facebook page, I should say, has it has things like disposable spoons that are made out of millet. I know you grow a lot of millet in Africa. So they actually take the millet and grind it into a paste and then smash it into a spoon. And then they can flavor it even with like garlic or chilies. And you use the spoon to eat the soup. And then you can eat the spoon or just throw it away, and there's no plastic. And one thing that's been very popular here to just getting started, it's considered a luxury, is leaf packaging. So packaging things in leaves. Also on that website, The Resolutionary, I think there's a lot of ideas for the people of Africa, for the women of the Academy, of things that they have around them all day long that they can start to market as packaging materials, as They even take banana leaves and smash them into disposable plates. They press them and make a plate. So to look to other countries that have similar ability in growing, such as India, India's made a lot of innovations in how to do eco-sustainable packaging. Yeah.
Great. You know, like what we were discussing yesterday, I told you about some of the startups that we have identified and supported in Nigeria. You know, one of them, the winner of our Enterprise Challenge last year, Bilikisu Garuba. I told you that she turns non-bio waste into interior decors. You remember? Yeah, beautiful items of decoration, interior decors, tables, seats, and all of that. So that's amazing, and I'm happy that you are also urging people listening, you know, to go in that direction and begin to make more eco-friendly and eco-sustainable items from whatever they see around them. Okay, very good. That's interesting. And by the way, we have some comments here, and the same, yeah, the person I just mentioned, Billy Kiso, is saying, how do I have access to the link? I can't seem to view it. Okay, thank you so much, madam. I love your energy and subtle vibe. Okay, I'm going to send the link, you know, after the conversation for all of them to have access to. I'm going to send it. Yes, so just keep watching, and I will send the link after the conversation. Grace Uzoma, thank you so much for this information. Okay, we also have Joy Omar. Wow, think big and start small. I'm really inspired by this topic. And I think starting small will make you know your real friends who support your dreams.
All right. Yeah, it's true. Your friends are so important. If I could touch on that, Remy, you know, women really support each other. And to get that circle of women you trust and women you love and work together, meet about what you want to do, make the products together, everything will really come, you know, into fullness if you work together.
Good. There's also something I teach, you know, during my business talk shows. I say that, you know, when you start small, it helps you to learn as you grow. And again, it will help you. You won't lose so much, even though you run into crisis in the business, because you started small. The investment is small. You won't lose so much, you know, compared to someone that started very big and all of a sudden the business crumbles and he loses everything. So when you get started very small, you learn as you grow, because you don't need to have everything required before you launch out. So that's what I teach. And I'm happy that you have also validated that as a good model and strategy. So Billy Kisu is saying biomimicry. Yeah, she had you when you said that. Exactly. It is also a sustainable practice in architecture. She's an architect, and she's also
wonderful.
Yeah, she's helping us to confirm what you just said, biomimicry. Okay, this one is, she's saying, so exciting and so informative. Okay, good. I have Susanna Wayo Kisabo. Very excited being here. This is mind-blowing. Thank you, Susanna, for joining us from wherever you are from. I have, my friend is here, Williams Francisco. Welcome, Sister Jacqueline, mother of peace, humanity, energy, water, and spiritual well-being. Oh, thank you, Williams. Thank you for joining us from US. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Okay, celebrate women's rights and human rights. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Williams. Thank you so much. Billy, it's so true. Even reusable bags from banana peels.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
So people can make bags from banana peels?
Yes, and even wrap foods, like wrap your vegetables in banana leaves versus plastic. There's really always, I mean, that's where the innovation comes in. It's like, how could I do this without making plastic? How could I do this very sustainably? Whatever it is, and even, you know, if that's your passion to be an inventor, to invent the solutions that make these things happen.
So you can see there are amazing opportunities for people anywhere, everywhere. Unfortunately, some people keep, sitting idle and say they don't have opportunities, they don't have jobs, they don't have this, they don't have that. They keep waiting for whatever time. I don't know when they are waiting to get started. So this is another opener that there's so much to do, just resource-based, economy. Look around you and see what you can invent, what you can innovate. And again, I also teach that innovation is not about creating new products or new services, entirely new products or services. You can just innovate another person's idea and add values, that will differentiate what is already on ground with what you have, So that is a way of getting started. Just innovate other people's ideas and you start selling and you start making money. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Ladies and gentlemen, we are still on the show this afternoon, and it's very, very interesting. We have a lot of people joining us from around the world, and here we have Jacqueline fully loaded to take your questions and to speak to you about how she started and how you have to start. Even though you have big ideas, she is pleading that you should please start small, so that you don't lose a lot of money when your business, crumbles, on the way as you learn on the business, as you learn on the go and on the business. Very good. So let me bring you to this the peace projects that you do. In 2002, you spearheaded a UN Global Peace Initiative. You spearheaded a United Nations Global Peace Initiative. And today,
yes, I'm a documentary director for that, and it blew my mind. I was not prepared for meeting 500 saints and women, religious and spiritual leaders from all over the world.
Is it the one that happened at Vatican?
No, this was at the United Nations. It was at the
for the United Nations, not for the Vatican. Okay, good. And today you are the founder of the Department of Peace Incorporated. The Department of Peace Incorporated around the world. You are the founder, even though it's yet to be launched globally. So now, can you tell us, what do you want to achieve with your peace initiatives?
Well, I think turning national security of all countries towards natural security and really reblooming this planet to its full potential and feeding the expanding populations of the planet in a very healthy and sustainable way. It definitely started small. I personally went through a long journey having a daughter and not being able to do the 12 to 14 hours a day for television that I used to do. So I retooled my passions, and in that, found these other avenues of agriculture and, starting small again, starting as a mother versus a traditional business person. And, I practiced what I'm discussing. I meditate, I ask, who am I? What do I have to give to this planet? How can I best serve the planet? The planet's in so much turmoil right now. It's very important to serve to our best degree. And through that meditation, this name came, the Department of Peace. And I researched it, and there were some political organizations over the last 5 to 10 years that have talked about making a Department of Peace. But no one had ever been successful because their political careers were not successful. And in fact, when I did further research, America had first mentioned the Department of Peace in 1785. So I figured it's not going to happen in the government anytime soon for us to make a private corporation which sustains itself on commodities will be the best way to empower an incubator for peace on Earth. So we're currently looking to support things of the medicine world to, positively impact and help with the COVID situation, but also then help with food items. And really what we look to do at the Department of Peace is to give people the structure that is necessary to get their idea into mass production. So most great visionaries don't have patents, lawyers, accountants, these sort of things. So, and also social media, so important now. That's really what Producers Market and working with this amazing team of young people taught me, is how important your Instagram, blogging, Facebook, social media presence is. I kind of miss that because I'm older, but they really have taught, it's very important for you to capture that real estate on the web. Eyeballs are the new real estate. Where are the eyeballs going to go today, and what are they going to watch? What are people, individuals going to tune into? So for the entrepreneur to really create that social media Mobius, sometimes very difficult for them, or they don't know how to do it. So we're looking to do that also in the Department of Peace, to get ideas that impact at least 1 billion people into a place where they're ready to receive their funding.
Very laudable. Very laudable. The Department of Peace. The Department of Peace. I'm sure we are going to be part of it. Now, there's something that you said, and I have. Who am I? What do I have to offer to the society? So I am classifying all of this into what I call reality questions. Reality questions. So if everyone can sit back at home and say, "Who am I? What can I offer?" In a bid to discover yourself and discover your purpose. Now it means a lot can begin to happen for us. So that is reality questions. That's what I call it. Who am I? What do I have to offer? What can I do? What can I do to earn money? What can I do to start a business? So these are reality questions that we want everyone to begin to ask themselves, so that they can do better, and then they can also begin to earn money and get out of poverty. Then talking about Department of Peace, because of the reality questions you ask yourself, you came up with the Department of Peace, and today the Department of Peace is coming up with objectives of medicine supplies and food supplies to maybe less privileged communities around the world. I think that's what you're trying to do with the Department of Peace.
Yeah, right? And the women here are welcome to join. Please come to the website www.departmentofpeace.global, and you can see how small we are starting. It is just a logo that we made for free on Wix Logo Maker. And it's an info. You can gather the info. And we really are starting small, but through grace, which, God's grace, and meditation with spirit, the answers will come as to what it is that the individual needs to contribute, and how to create happiness within themselves in doing that. It really works.
Very good. I'm going to display that website shortly. So, but let me go straight to something. You sound very successful in all your initiatives, despite the little break when you had your daughter. So, was there any time apart from then? Was there any time you felt out trying to bet or launch an idea? Was there any other time that you felt as trying to launch out an idea?
Oh, yeah, all the time. I fail every single day still. Every day, fail. Whew. But you learn. Every time you fail, you learn. So that is truth. Every time. And just by those failures adding up, and if you take them on board, you learn from your failures. So over 30 years, you get better and better at what you're doing, and then eventually it becomes very easy. That's how I've helped in these companies, because I have experience now. But when you're just starting and you don't know, to find a mentor. That's probably been my number one best advice, is find somebody. First, get in touch with what you want to offer, and then find somebody who is already advanced in that. And they can teach you. Vocabulary is number one. When you learn the vocabulary of any industry that you want to be in, then you can converse in that industry. And every single industry, whether it's media or any type of entrepreneurialism, has its own Wikipedia or investor. Yes. Recently, we were involved in a business where I was getting all these new terms that I've never heard before. So I'd very quietly go Google Investopedia and read the page while we were talking. And And that helps, every time that you teach yourself something, and hopefully you're learning things every single day. Really, school for me has never ended. So I have a 30-year course now. It's never ending of really, really reading what interests me. And then after, a certain amount of time, you become fluid in that subject and you're able to converse.
Oh, wonderful. You fail every day, almost every day.
I still fail every day.
There's something that Kiyosaki said. He said, success is not a good teacher. Success is not a good teacher. Right. What do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I mean, it was wonderful to work with Michael Jackson, but I thought that all business was like that. And that was not how the business was at all. That was a big burst of grace. And then I had to work backwards to catch up and become professional in the industry that I was working in. So yeah, I think that every business has its own data set that needs to be learned. And starting with the vocabulary, you can find very simply on the web, any single thing that you're looking to learn is now available for free on the web. And so maybe if someone isn't quite ready to go to school yet, you can get earphones, you can take care of your children, take care of the house, but be educating yourself while you're doing that so that you have new words to use and new ideas will spring from that.
Great.
That's maybe something to touch on too, is time usage and how to allocate your time so that, you can really have the maximum value of time. I have to say I make TV shows, but I don't watch them because I spend the time learning instead of watching someone else's, creation. And I'm not against TV shows, and this is a great show of value. But also, if I'm not being enriched by what I'm consuming, I realize that it's just kind of a distraction. It's not helping me to move forward. So, to seek out media that's going to help you move forward. That's why I love YouTube and, the different educational video channels, because I'd rather be watching something that's teaching me something any day.
Okay, good. So, Jacqueline, let's go to see what people are saying about this discussion. Okay, Joy Omar is saying, what did she say? She said, "I wish to meet you one day."
Oh, me too. I wish to meet you one day.
Okay, and this one is from Faith Balanco Agufra. She said, "It was nice being here. Nice being here." And this one is from JC Henacho. "This is truly an opportunity for growing small businesses intending to grow big." Great. And this is from Cynthia. Cynthia is saying, "Madam, you are really a versatile personality, lover of planet and humanity. Keep the good work, madam. I will surely get there."
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes. You can see how excited that our people are, listening to you discuss how you started and the opportunities that they have to, become who they want to be in life. So it's really interesting. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me also display where you can get opportunities that she is talking about. Then, like she mentioned, whois.com. I will ask you afterwards, what opportunities are there on Whois, because I know whois.com, but I don't know the opportunities there. I know Fiverr.com. I don't know Etsy.com. I know Storybed.com. So tell us, what are the opportunities that are available for our people on these links that you just shared?
Well, Whois is a website gathering link. So when you're washing the dishes, thinking about your brand, thinking about your brand name, you can go to Whois, and let's say it's a kind of a common term that you want to use. Whois will also suggest alternative websites that are available that are still within that same kind of idea. so that you're able to brand your business first with a website and have a web link. Maybe they're starting small, they buy a 98-cent piece of web real estate. All the dot space there's a lot of different extensions now. You'll see some of our things are dot global or dot space. There's many different extensions that you can choose from. I think there's even a dot Africa now. So when your entrepreneur is thinking about their brand, it should be easy to say on the phone. You should be able to understand what the person is saying when they're telling you the website name, and it's best if it's reflective of what they want to sell or offer, so that it's already in the name. Now there's a trend in America to have very short names like Uber and things like that are very easy and 4 letters, and many websites are like that. So a lot of times I get ideas for websites by misspelling my text, where I'm typing a text and I misspell a word, and then I grab a website because it actually worked for the web. But really just noticing oneself and becoming self-aware of what are the passions, and then taking that, translating it into a brand, and then like Fiverr. If the ladies here have not seen Fiverr, it has been a lifesaver for so many people, because you don't have to be an expert in everything. You can hire an expert for $5 on Fiverr. And there's really great creators there who are in between jobs, who love to create, and who want to help you create animations, logos, SEO, web optimization. You can buy a whole website for $50 on Fiverr. There's a lot of opportunity on Fiverr. What I'd like my secret tip for the ladies and gentlemen who are watching is to start an account right when you go to Fiverr. It's a free to start, but then when you see a creator that you love, make that little heart as a favorite, because they're very hard to find otherwise. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. Oh, wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been really amazing talking with Jacqueline this afternoon. It's really amazing and wonderful, highly educative, highly inspiring, and a lot has been learned. So before I let her go, I want to ask you, Jacqueline, based on all that you have discussed and all that you are involved in, so how can we at the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa partner with you and your team, to enable more people from here, from Africa, benefit from your project? So how is it possible? Is it something that we can talk about? So tell us.
Yes, and yes. So first of all, I'd love to get everyone's email on departmentofpeace.global. We'll be officially launching in the summer of 2021. Also, we haven't touched on Gaia.ie, but Gaia.ie was founded by a man called Thomas Richardson, and it is designed to help Africa. It is such a great idea and great concept, where we take crowdfunding dollars from the West and we help to bloom blocks of Africa and make eco-sustainable gardens. He was a gardener for 20 years for rock stars and kings and queens, and he just got a mission given to him from Spirit to start a hedge fund. And so he did, and it's going to be very successful. So Gaia.ie to keep track of that. And also, I encourage everyone to go look at the Resolutionary and look at the things that have been collected there on Facebook over the last really 10 years, because there'll be a lot of inspiration, I think, for the people of Africa to look towards eco-sustainable, upcycled, non-plastic solutions. So that's the Resolutionary on Facebook.
Oh, okay. So, sorry, I didn't get. That's GEIA.ie, right?
Yeah, it's in Ireland. That's a hedge fund in Ireland, and it's GEIA.ie. I saw it scrolling, Mr. Remy. You have it scrolling.
Yes. I think I made a mistake. Okay, it's correct now. GEIA.ie, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so you mean Africans can benefit from projects on GEIA.ie?
Eventually, yes. It's a startup and it's a hedge fund, and they have a very unique plan to make scalable land developments that people will crowdsource and invest in and buy into from the West.
Oh,
Because everybody wants to see Africa thrive, and it's a matter of how's that going to happen, and how can we help in giving our time, talent, or treasure. We say time, talent, or treasure.
Very good. And here at Africa Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, we are committed in raising young entrepreneurs and leaders for the African continent. So we present enormous opportunities, partnership opportunities for you and your partners. We can do a lot together to make sure that African people participate, globally and benefit from what you are offering, because that is our mandate at the Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa. So today, it's good to hear that we have found a new partner in Jacqueline.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. That is wonderful. Thank you very much.
So so it's amazing and a great opportunity that this discussion has gotten us a new partner, because you have a lot that you are doing, and for us, we are interested in exposing our people to all of these opportunities at the global stage. So it's fantastic talking with you. This is over 1 hour we've been discussing and talking about how to think big and start small. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being so interested in what we are talking about, for the sacrifice that you have made, waking up early to join us in this discussion, and for staying all this long. It's been 1 hour 15 minutes talking with you. I'm so happy, and we are so privileged, to have you. So let's go and see what they are saying before I let you go. It's been a lot. Okay, good.
I love seeing the faces of everyone. That's so great.
Yes, Grace is saying great information and practical steps, to growing small businesses. That's what she is saying. Great information and practical steps to growing small businesses. She's a business owner, and that is she's also telling us that it is true that what you have discussed are practical steps, to growing small businesses. This is wonderful. This is wonderful, and it's a validation of everything that we have discussed this afternoon. That you can think big, but you need to start small so that you can grow eventually, by learning on the go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a wonderful opportunity having Jacqueline on the show this afternoon. And for us at Ugwumba Center for Leadership Development in Africa, we are so grateful that we have got a new partner. We need to shout it out to the whole world. We've got a new partner this afternoon. And by the way, you can look at our website at www.ugwumbaleaders.org if you want to know more about us, or on Twitter, on Facebook, facebook.com/Ugwumba Leaders. Then on LinkedIn, you can see us at linkedin.com/company/Ugwumba Leaders. The websites are scrolling on the screen, and that is how I want to call it. We are going to call it a day on the show this afternoon. And by the way, we want to thank you, Jacqueline Baudet. Did I get it correctly?
Beaudette-Evanoff.
Beaudette-Evanoff.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's a pleasure having you on the show this afternoon. It's really amazing. You have done so much for us, letting our people know, how you started and why they should start small, even though they have a lot in their minds and a lot of ideas they want to put in place. So but they need to start small so that they don't lose so much, and so that they can also grow while they are learning in the week. What do you call it? In Investopedia. You say on Investopedia you learn.
Investopedia is amazing.
There's a language for every business, right?
Yeah. There's really vocabulary for every single business. If you look up, a vocabulary words, it's amazing.
There's a vocabulary for every business. Good. Yeah. So when you start small, it gives you the opportunity to learn all the vocabularies, before you start growing big. That is wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy. We thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. This is a special edition of the Leadership Show, which comes to you every Wednesday. We couldn't bring it last Wednesday, just 2 days ago, because of the time differences that we have with Jacqueline. And today she made a sacrifice to be here, and it's been wonderful and amazing. We're so grateful having you, Jacqueline, and I'm sure that there are so many takeaways for everyone that listens to us, and people that will watch this video even after now. They're going to learn a lot that will change their lives, and we are so grateful. And we also believe that when next we call you, you will make another sacrifice of waking up early to join us on the show. I'm sure that's going to happen. Is it possible?
It's my pleasure. My pleasure. It was a real honor, and I really felt the energy of the women when that WhatsApp room started. And everyone's saying, hi, there's 200 people there. I mean, I feel that there's a tremendous power in this group, that their imagination and their passion and their heart is really the most important ingredients for any successful business. So I'm very, very pleased to be part of this group, and I'm very honored myself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So this is where we're going to call it a day for this session this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you, and we thank you so much, Jacqueline, for being part of the show this afternoon. God bless you.